Hello everyone and welcome to some MiSTer FPGA news. This week we will be talking about an easy to use MS-DOS collection, the Sega Saturn core being officially released, new I/O board updates, and more. Also check out my channel sponsor MiSTer Add-ons, a place where you can get all your MiSTer needs, things like full MiSTer setups, I/O boards, accessories, and more. Now let's get to the news. The team behind the Amiga Vision Collection pack has just released a pack for the AO486 core. The goal is to consoleize the AO486/DOS experience on the MiSTer FPGA platform and make gaming on the PC core as easy as any console core that is supported. Here are some of its advantages. A simple launcher. The 0 MHz DOS collection uses MiSTer's MGL support to let you launch straight into any of the games directly from the top-level DOS game menu. One game, one setup. Each game is configured as a separate container running the game off a dedicated virtual hard drive file. All relevant settings are in place, like appropriate CPU speed, necessary drivers, memory managers, and anything else needed to play the game. Only the classics. Only the best DOS gaming is included, especially if you are new to the platform. They try to make it easier to find something you like. Most of the major hits from back in the days are included, and complete game series too. Pick and choose. Instead of getting every DOS game in existence, just pick the ones you want to play, since they are all standalone setups, whether that means only your own personal top 5 DOS games or the top 100. It's NFC compatible. Since it relies entirely on MiSTer's MGL support, these games can be launched using the NFC reader should you want to. And it has a simple installation. Just copy the files to your MiSTer and you are ready to go. No setup needed. Over 100 games are supported on this release, with more games and features coming in the future. If you want a guide on setting this up, check out Pixel Cherry Ninja's video on the project. And remember to check out the sister project called Amiga Vision that does the same for the Amiga core. Uberyoji recently released a new boot ROM for the PlayStation core. It's themed after Metal Gear Solid and looks really cool. I feel this ROM is better suited to booting than the previous PlayStation boot ROM, as that one felt like a program that came out of the demo scene. You can download the boot ROM now by enabling Uberyoji's boot ROMs and update all. For the past few weeks, Jotego has been working on an audio framework that would allow cores to more accurately recreate audio filters from arcade hardware. That framework is now stable, and Jotego is going to move back to core development. This doesn't mean that the audio filter work is going to end, because that responsibility is now going to one of Jotego's team members. Great news for Sega Saturn fans. SRG320 Sega Saturn core has finally been officially released. This doesn't mean that the core is complete, because there's still a lot of work to be done. However, according to this Sega Saturn compatibility chart, 98.8% of the US library is now playable. This will give us plenty of games to play around with on the core. So update your MiSTer now to obtain it. SRG320 posted a huge log of what has been updated on Patreon. There are too many updates to mention in this video, but you can also check out SRG320's GitHub to get the details. Aitor Gomez Garcia has released a new update to his fork of MiSTer Main that integrates TapTo support. This update adds loading screens for PC games. The PC support will really go great with the 0 MHz DOS collection. Aitor also posted a YouTube video demonstrating the loading in action. To use this, you will have to download his alternate version of MiSTer Main and override it with the current one on your SD card. But if you prefer to have this fork downloaded for you automatically, then you can add the line you see on screen to your downloader.ini file. If you have a MiSTer Multisystem and want to upgrade music playback on the computer cores, then you will be happy to know that the Pi MMS cartridge for the MiSTer Multisystem is back in stock. This is a cartridge that allows you to use a Raspberry Pi to enable enhanced MIDI playback on supported computer cores. MiSTer Main and some cores have already been starting to get updated to the new framework that supports the new I/O board. Sorge also announced the official release of this I/O board. For those that don't know, this new I/O board will support 24-bit analog video output through the VGA port. It also will have better audio and video DACs. And so you won't have to worry about dual SD-RAM setups. This I/O board will have the ability to convert from an analog I/O board to a digital I/O board through the insertion and removal of an AV board. In digital I/O mode, you will be able to use dual SD-RAM. but analog video output through the VGA port won't be available. Once you switch back to analog I/O mode, you'll have the ability to output both analog video and HDMI video at the same time. It's great to have this option to switch between digital and analog mode with one MiSTer setup. The hardware files for this new I/O board has been released, and MiSTer hardware vendors can start creating boards based on it. So that's it for this episode. I provided links to all my sources in the description. Make sure you also check out retrorgb.com to see my MiSTer news videos in blog form and to get more retro related content. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and its bell icon so you can get notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.